So good morning everyone. We are the team D Intelliborn. We are here to tackle about Thorndike'S Connectionism.
He is Edward Thorndike. Edward Thorndike is famous in psychology for his work on learning theory that led to the development of operant conditioning within behaviorism. Skinner wasn't the first psychologist to study learning by consequences. Indeed, Skinner's theory of operant conditioning is built on the ideas of Edward Thorndike. Edward Thorndike is an American psychologist whose work on animal behavior and the learning process led to the theory of connectionism, which states that behavioral responses to specific stimuli are established through the process of trial and error that affects neural connections between the stimuli and the most satisfying response.
This is the three law of connectionism theory by Edward Thorndike. First is the law of effect. Law of effect. Thorndike believes that any act that produces a satisfying effect will be repeated. The principle of effect is that behavior followed by positive consequences is more likely to be repeated, while behavior followed by a negative consequences is less likely to be repeated. So, law of effect, the emotional states of the learning affects the learning itself. So, next is the law of exercise. Law of exercise, this implies that students learn best and retain information longer when they have meaningful practice and repetition. Constant practice is necessary if an action is to be strengthened. The practice here should be meaningful and followed by feedback. Lack of practice may begin an event. For each time practice occurs, learning continues. So, law of exercise. Repetition of the experience increases the probability of a correct response, but it will not enhance learning without a satisfying effect following the response. Lastly is the law of readiness. This implies that individuals learn best when they are physically, mentally, and emotionally ready to learn, and do not learn well if they see no reasons for learning. The more prepared or ready, the more likely they are to learn and retain the knowledge. The law of readiness is closely related to the concept of motivation. So, law of readiness, it is the execution of an action in response to a strong impulse is satisfying, but the blocking of an action of the forcing it is annoying. Now, we are move on to our topic. Our topic is about proper keyboard hand placement. Law of readiness. Establish the student readiness for capacity of learning through the response to the stimuli. The more a pupil reacts to the stimulus, the more prepared he is to learn. It is getting ready to do something. So, law of readiness. This law states that learning can only take place when a person is ready to learn, when employees feel ready, they learn more effectively and with greater satisfaction than when not ready. Now we must move on to the how to apply the law of readiness to our topic.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dexter Ortiz Jr. and I will discuss on how to apply the law of readiness in proper keyboard hand placement. Okay, first, I can give my student an improper oral station about hand placement to test if they can still remember the previous lesson, or if they have an idea about how proper keyboard typing is, and prepare the self mentally and physically to adapt and maintain the proper hand position for typing.
My name is Ataya Apa. Now, this is the second way on how to apply law of readiness on proper keyboard hand placement. So, I will let them individually practice in a computer lab to let them if they have background knowledge of our next lesson and also to determine which area they do not know so I can teach it to them. So, knowing if your students already have background knowledge of your lesson is essential for effective teaching and learning. It helps you to tailor your lesson to meet individual needs, identify knowledge gaps and misconceptions, and plan engaging and challenging activities that promotes deeper learning.
Hello everyone, the law of effect is a belief that developed by Edward Thorndike that says, take actions that leads to positive outcomes and we tend to avoid actions that produce negative consequences. Like kapag sa nagluluto ka po, mga masustansya pagkain tapos kinakain mo po tapos nagiging malusog ka at nagugustuhan mong outcome po. Kaya ginawa niyong daily routine. Tapos kapag yung niluluto niyo mo po at kinakain ay nakakasama sa kalusugan mo, parang mas lalong hindi napapabuti yung pakiramdam nyo, ay ititigil nyo na lang po. Yun po ang law of effect po. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Marie Elvimada and today I will discuss on how to apply the law of effect. So, I may give additional points. The students have provided accurate answers in order to encourage other students to pay attention in class, study, and perform well on the upcoming task. So, gaya mo po ng ginagawa ni Sir G, nagbibigay po siya ng contest points sa klase. So, mas magpa-participate po ako kasi kapag may ganoong nangyayari po.
Hello everyone, I am Princess Evisperger and I am discussing about the law of exercise. So, ano nga ba ang law of exercise? This implies that the students learn best and retain information longer when they have meaningful practice and repetition. Meaning to say, as the practice grows, the connection between the stimulus and the response gets stronger. Also, this implies that the learning efficiency can be increased by practice.
And at the end of our lesson about the proper keyboard hand placement, we can apply the law of exercise by having an individual activity that is the same as the activity we had before. This time, they will encode a story or a paragraph. But of course, it will be done individually to see if they pay attention to follow the proper hand placement, and it will be graded according to the accuracy, duration, and speed. And that's how we can apply the three primary laws while teaching our topic. Thank you for watching.
That's all. Thank you.